Yeah, very much regards to you watching me out there. My name is Fandov Aziki. Today, I will be talking on the topic how to stop corrupt politicians. How to stop corrupt politicians. However, if today is your very first time of seeing my videos, please kindly subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe, you will gain and learn more of practical political education that are not taught in the classroom. You will also learn more of personal and leadership development. Do not forget to click the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new content, you can always be alerted. Like and share. Your comment will also be highly appreciated. Without wasting much of our time, how to stop corrupt politicians. When we talk about how to stop corrupt politicians, the overview of the subject discourse is to educate us, the electorate, the general public, on how to end the access of politicians who intend to siphon and embezzle the public resources for their personal interest against the general welfare of the people. It will also expose us on how we can make use of our voting power to secure this national asset or treasury. How to stop corrupt politicians. You must know that corruption, especially political corruption, is abuse and use of public trust and asset to favor some group of individuals or for personal welfare against the wishes of the general public. Now, the question is, how do we stop the corrupt politicians? One of the ways we are looking is through democratic process, the people's power. One of this way is that the tyrants are only afraid of massive participation. It is during elections, a democratic defined way of changing government is election period. That is where the people demonstrate their opinion, their expression, their power, at the same time contribute to the future and the nation building. So we can change and stop these corrupt politicians during elections. That is where the people's power prevail. You must participate. It is your right to vote during election. It is your responsibility to vote When you are voting, you are contributing. You are expressing your position. You are defining what you want. But if you fail to vote, you will grant access to these corrupt politicians to take over the leadership and the responsibility to control you. So during election, you will decide who should occupy the public office that have great influence upon your life. So it is during election, the people's power are being expressed, opinion and wishes becomes a major determinant. So this time we cannot vote them in. Those voted in can as well be voted out. So the democratic approach is one of the very major way we can stop to them, which is what? Election. That is one. Another aspect we can as well remove or prevent this corrupt politician. It is our change of mentality. We as electorate must conquer ourselves. We must purge ourselves of corrupt tendencies. We must purge ourselves of corrupt tendencies. We must set a good standard which the politicians will not fall. We must believe in the spirit and the letters of the Constitution. We must work according to the conventional approach of what? Occupying every position of public responsibilities. We as individuals should know what is right and what is not right. It is wrong for us to begin to demand things that are not enshrined or included in the scheme or responsibility of public officers. Your personal need, your personal or problems at homes are not the job of public officers. Most of us, the pressure in us, the information we furnish these public officers makes them to be very, very corrupt. We must define private responsibility from public responsibilities. When we begin to handle our private responsibilities, the public office holder will concentrate on the public welfare. So we must, in the course of this very point, we must not condition the politicians before we can express our opinions. That is voting. We must do that as a constitutional right and responsibility. We must not give them condition or collect some money from them before doing whatever we're supposed to do. When we purge ourselves of all these corrupt tendencies, the politicians will not go in there and begin to corrupt. So we as a person must set a standard. We must set a standard. You must set a standard for yourself for us to stop these corrupt politicians. Another areas or ways we can stop corrupt politicians is our information or knowledge based. Most of us are not information oriented. When you are not informed, you are deformed. Many people are swimming in the pool of ignorance. Many people are not politically aware on government policies and actions. And at that point, the political class deploy the tool of propaganda to continue to manipulate the gullible electorates. We therefore believe that when people are properly informed, they will disseminate informations. They will educate people on daily basis, abridge them with up-to-date informations. Thereby, they will not have so much sense to make an informed decisions. Because of this ignorance, the politicians can always remain in power. But when the electorates are properly educated, are properly informed, are information oriented, they know when the government is doing well and they know when government are not doing well. And they recognize the power that is relies or lies on them. They will make an informed decision. On that basis, we as individuals must be thirsty of information. We should be very, very, very inquisitive to know what the government is doing and what the government is not doing. Thereby, it will be a standard that will begin to regulate the mindset of the elite or the political class. Another way we can stop this political or corrupt politician precisely is through the recall process. When I mean recall process, most of the politicians, when they manipulate you and finally be in power, they create a bridge or excommunicate the entire electorate, thereby keeping them deformed or keeping them in the dark. The politician at this point will galvanize, mobilize the people according to the constitutional requirement through the power of signatories or signatures. People will sign according to what the Constitution requires to demand his recall as a result of disservice to their demands. When politicians are underperforming or no longer represent the interest of the people, the recall process is another way you can reduce or bring back home such corrupt or underperforming politicians. So, recall is a powerful tool, a very powerful political instrument to recall a corrupt politician so that such politician cannot have access to power. Another one is for us to be law abiding. We should always use the tool of petition, use the law enforcement agents, the local agencies, anything that has to do with enforcement We must deploy it to ensure that corrupt politicians are prosecuted. If they are not prosecuted, they will continue to be corrupt and use such resources to reinvest and remain in power, and use such opportunity to remain in power and make the entire electorate an object of caricature. The above all are very, very good ways whereby we can stop the corrupt political class or politician from accessing our treasury and the government positions that have influence upon our life. Thank you very much. Do not forget to subscribe and share. I remain fond of Azike Azike. Thank you and bye for the now.